Gandhi's approach to politics, we can say, is moral. You can also say that is spiritual. And Gandhi doesn't make any distinction between spirituality and religion. So his approach is religious also. Okay. Politics is not about a power game. It is not about power. Okay. And so he approaches political issues through spiritual angle. Okay. So to him, religion and politics go together. I can say without the slightest hesitation, and yet in all humility, that those who say religion has nothing to do with politics do not know what religion means. The meaning he gives to religion is such that it includes politics. Okay. And Gandhi uses the term Swaraj for his ideal society. Okay. He says the square of Swaraj has 4 sides: the political, economic, social, and dharma. Okay. So political, economic, and social, and spiritual and religious are all interrelated to Gandhi. Okay. Some people may question, if you bring religion into politics, won't it lead to conflict? Won't it lead to conflict? For example, some bring Hinduism, some bring Islam. And some bring Christianity. So they would say, if you are bringing religion, won't it lead to conflict? So because of this, they say religion and politics should be separated. But how does Gandhi see this problem? What Gandhi does is that Gandhi doesn't take religion as a specific dogma. He doesn't take it as a specific dogma. he defines very, very broadly. And he thinks every religion has a truth. And teaches spirituality. Okay. So, religion to him is bringing morality to politics. So, to Gandhi, religion is not a narrow dogma or simply an identity. To him, religion is moral base. Okay. And Gandhi also defines religion in such a way that he defines religion in such a way that he gives a wider meaning, wider and deeper meaning. Okay. Take for example, what he has to say on Hinduism. Okay. To him, Hinduism is a search after truth through non-violent means. So Gandhi includes two of his fundamental values to religion, Hinduism. Okay. Nobody before Gandhi took Hinduism to be like this. Okay, so that is why Gandhi's approach to religion is interpretative, and not empirical or scholarly, analytical. No, it is not like this. It is interpretative. Gandhi would say that this is what religion means to me, whether scholars agree or don't. Okay. One example of Gandhi's interpretation of Hinduism in a completely different way is the way he interpreted Bhagavad Gita, for example. To Gandhi, Gita doesn't teach violence. What he said. To say that Gita teaches or justifies war is as wrong as to say that violence is the law of life. The field of battle is our own body. An eternal battle is going on between the two camps of higher impulse and lower impulse. Krishna is the dweller within, ever whispering in a pure heart. So to most people, Gita represented righteous war. Pandavas are on the right side and Kauravas are on the wrong side. Krishna asking Arjuna to fight. Gita represented justifiable war, but to Gandhi there was no war. Pandavas and Kauravas were nothing but impulses in the mind. Nobody interpreted Gita like this. Next, Gandhi says, Hinduism is not an exclusive religion. In it, there is room for the worship of all the prophets of the world. Hinduism tells everyone to worship God according to his own faith or dharma. So it lives at peace with the religions. So to him, Hinduism tells a Muslim to worship Allah. It is true, Hinduism is more tolerant, and Hinduism is a result of absorption of many tribal religions. But to say that it tells everyone to worship God according to his own faith is definitely not anyone's interpretation of Hinduism. So it is by defining religion in a very broad sense, Gandhi is avoiding the likely conflict between religion and politics. Okay. And it is not that he is avoiding the conflict, but in fact, he is bringing certain very important elements of religion to politics. Okay. So now, he is bringing religion to politics. Okay. And religion here is not just a dogma, but rather a spiritual truth, moral code. So when he is thinking that everyone should bring his own religion to the political process to make politics to a spiritual exercise, what are the elements of religions that he is bringing to politics? That is, what are the moral values that Gandhi is bringing to politics? Because religions represent many values. But what are the values that Gandhi is bringing to political process is an issue. Okay. These are the values he is bringing. He is for selflessness. This is one very important value to him. He is not for greed, power. for selflessness, which involves self-sacrifice. Okay. Working for goodness of others. Working for others. If you take these values as religious values, then Gandhi's claim that religions bring these values is true. Because, for example, these are the values that are held by all main religions, be it Islam, Christianity, that religions called for selflessness, they rejected greed, they believed in working for others. So Gandhi is bringing that moral component which is common to all religions to the political process. Okay. And let us see what he had to say on this. For example, our desires and motives may be divided into two classes, selfish and unselfish. All selfish desires are immoral, while the desire to improve ourselves for the sake of doing good to others is truly moral. And the highest moral law is that we should unremittingly work for the good of mankind. This is a simple moral code that is brought to polity. And to Gandhi, polity and economy are interrelated. Polity is interrelated to economy. So, unselfishness in political aspects should also mean unselfishness in economic aspects. Okay, from that Gandhi derives that we should only satisfy our needs and we should lead a life of simplicity. When so many people who are poor, so you cannot go for accumulation of your wealth when so many people are poor. This is a part of concern for others, part of being unselfish. Okay, so this is what Gandhi says. Under the new outlook, multiplicity of material wants will not be the aim of life. The aim will be rather their restriction consistently with comfort. We shall cease to think of getting what we can, but we shall decline. We shall cease to think of getting what we can, but we shall decline to receive what all can't get. This is a very powerful economic principle. Declining what all cannot get invariably leads to living with satisfying your minimal comforts and needs. Okay. But if you are declining what all can't get and living with simple needs, being satisfied with the satisfaction of simple needs, in that case, are you happy? So Gandhi is asking to be unselfish, to be simple. But if you are this, will you be happy? That is, does ethical life leads to happiness? And to Gandhi, yes. This is similar to Socratic position, that ethics and happiness go together, and such understanding should come to politics. Okay. Socrates didn't talk about sacrifice, minimal needs. Of course, Socrates led minimal life. Okay. But Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle believed in the unity of ethics and happiness. And Gandhi is bringing that back. And Gandhi thinks that sacrifice and unselfish behavior is the source of happiness. So thereby, he is rejecting something like utilitarian thinking. Okay. For example, utilitarian takes happiness to mean only physical happiness and economic prosperity. But Gandhi rejects this position. And so he says, I don't believe in the doctrine of the greatest good of the greatest number. It means in its nakedness that in order to achieve the supposed good of 51%, the interests of 49% maybe or rather should be sacrificed. It is a heartless doctrine and has done harm to humanity. The only real dignified human doctrine is the greatest good of all. And this can only be achieved by self-sacrifice. Utilitarianism thinks everybody getting more pleasure, everybody or more number of people becoming economically prosperous. That is right. So to utilitarians, if somebody is not getting adequate wealth, he's unhappy. But Gandhi thinks one can be happy in sacrifice. And if people can see happiness in sacrifice, then all can be happy. It is not maximum number of people being happy, but all. So Gandhi wants a system where all happy. And that system is possible when people choose to lead a moral life, not simply seeking pleasure. Okay. And Gandhi thinks that society comes when people have an idea of not only rights, but also duties. Duty to lead a simple life, duty to resist evil. So one has a duty to contribute to a better economic system and a better political system, better social system. And performing these duties don't bring down happiness, but they promote happiness. So this Gandhi has to say on duty, to resist. Most people don't understand the complicated machinery of the government. They don't realize every citizen silently but nonetheless certainly sustains the government of the day in ways of which he has no knowledge. Every citizen therefore renders himself responsible for every act of the government. And it is quite proper to support it so long as the actions of the government are bearable. But when they hurt him and his nation, it becomes his duty to withdraw his support. So man's political duty is to resist, just as his economic duty is to lead a simple life. Okay. So Gandhi is bringing that morality to political process by which all will be happy.